there appears to be a strong chance Wednesday may be struggling to field a team come the first game of the season, because a takeover won't be complete in 4 weeks, no matter how close it is. So until then, God knows who's going to still be at the club player-wise.
It's going to be an uncertain period of time, but like I alluded to a moment ago, we're 4 weeks away from the start of the season. I think them not being able to field a competitive 11 is the worst case scenario for Sheffield Wednesday. I think the players being sold or potentially being sold that you mentioned, I think we spoke about it in previous episodes, that Chansiri is essentially sacrificed a short to mid-term and even long-term future of the club by being a negligent owner. So the likes of Anthony Masaba, Pierce Charles and Jedi Kasama being sold is a frustrating thing. But if they get sold for the club to be able to obviously pay off whoever they owe and pay staff members as well, but also enable the club to bring in some players, going to be free transfers, going to be trialists, they're going to be players that nobody is really that interested in. Bring them into the club and at least put out a competitive team come the first day of the season. I think that will... It's not a positive, but if you are a bit of an optimist, that's a better case scenario to be in than what could possibly happen.
Yeah, it depends what happens with funding if a takeover is on its way, because right now, who's going to want to join Sheffield Wednesday? Players aren't getting paid. It's not a very attractive thing for a player to be enticed to a club with, is it? But in some cases, we have had it where prospective owners are lending sort of a helping hand, if you see what I mean. And that may mean that Wednesday are able to put out at least a competitive side, as you say, Justin, on the first day of the season. Whether that is actually the case, I don't know. I still think there is a good chance right now that they're having to effectively put out academy players, the under-18s and what have you, which we don't want to see. But unfortunately, that is the state of where it's at. For me, these guys are being... The players who we've just spoken about there, who have been paid in full so they can be sold, are being sacrificed to pay the bills, which is wrong. Because Chansiri, when he took over at Sheffield Wednesday, he took on that responsibility of paying things that the club couldn't afford to pay itself, like wages. And now we know he's not doing that. Whether it's because he can't or he simply doesn't want to, who knows. But him doing this and selling players is kind of giving him a way round that. And as you say, Justin, it's destroying Wednesday's chances in the short to mid-term until a takeover gets done.